So Game Freak is under fire right now, and it is going through a lot of controversy. I've never seen personally Game Freak under this much controversy. It kind of reminds me of like what's going on with like EA and loot boxes and Blizzard and all that jazz. But it's been a tough week for Masuda and Game Freak, and I'm still sticking to my guns regardless of some of the stuff that's happened recently. I'm still not satisfied about the national decks, but we're just gonna dive straight into this video. So Game Freak is panicking, and they are panicking bad, and so much to the point where they're even canceling the Sword and Shield launch event. Now normally Game Freak, with every single Pokemon game out in Japan, they have this event that takes place for the launch of the game. You know, everybody gets to take a first look at it and everything, but that this year it's canceled. It's not happening. Now, there are some rumors as to why they have canceled the event. People are saying that their morale is really low or that they received death threats. But whatever the reason is, Game Freak is not doing so hot right now. Now, I'm just as upset as the next guy when it comes to the national decks being removed from the game and all of my Pokemon that I worked so hard for not making it. But I have to say this because some people, they gotta hear it, but violence and threatening Masuda, if that is the case, or threatening the developers of Game Freak, isn't gonna solve a single thing. Not only is it not gonna solve a single thing, but it's actually gonna have the exact opposite effect. People are gonna start feeling sorry for Game Freak, and Game Freak is going to become the victim. Now, don't get me wrong, I still, I want everyone to be safe and everything, but that does not excuse Game Freak from the criticisms that they so rightly deserve. But the American community did take action, and they did make the most #1 trending post, which was thank you Game Freak. And I thought it was a really kind gesture for everything that was going on. I don't know if I would have said thank you. I would have been like, we're there for you if you're there for us, or something along those lines. But whatever the case may be, a lot of the people who defend the national dex cuts and all of that good stuff, they went out and they showed their love and support for Masuda, but not everyone took it so well. I don't know if this is necessarily true or not, but I did see pictures of this on the internet. Japan, or some of the people in Japan were doing, like, mocking the trending one in America and making hashtag Game Freak. Now, I know we've for sure seen this before. We've seen this with the base of Star Wars completely splitting in two, and now it looks like we have this happening in the Pokemon community. We have people fighting against each other whether the national dex cut was a good thing or a bad thing. We have people praising, we have people upset, and without a shadow of a doubt, all that tells me is that the base of Pokemon is completely split, and this is probably the most horrible thing that could possibly be happening to Game Freak at this exact moment. And if you thought that this controversy would end up just blowing up overnight, it actually seems like the exact opposite. So we have people who have data mined the game recently, and we have found out that there were 144 moves cut from the game. Now, we're talking about moves like Pursuit, Me First, Refresh, Hidden Power, all of these iconic moves that have literally been around for years and years. They're just completely gone. Now, in recent interviews with Masuda and some of the developers at Game Freak, it looked like these developers were in a sort of panic mode. They were asked about whether Pokemon and Sword and Shield would ever add more Pokemon, or Pokemon in the future would ever add more, and it looked like they were looking at their advisors or whatever they are to basically tell them, like, no comment, don't say anything about it. And then later they released a statement saying that you can use Pokemon Home to transfer or to leave your Pokemon, and eventually, maybe your favorite Pokemon will come back. In my opinion, Now, this is just a complete opinion, but that was an extremely bad decision because if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to pay for Pokemon Home the same way you paid for Pokemon Bank. Now, they're assuming that you're gonna buy Pokemon Home and you're gonna transfer your Pokemon Home and just let them sit there. And that's very bold of them to just assume that you're just gonna pay for that. Now, if Pokemon Home turns out to be free, then sure, whatever, I'm all for it. But the way he just made it sound like, oh, you're gonna pay for it anyway, you just gotta wait your turn. So to pretty much conclude this episode, I just have to say one thing to Gamefreak, and that is, you know, as a longtime fan, I've been playing Pokemon since Red and Blue. You know, I know you guys like to cater to children and you think that children are the only ones who play your guys' games. But if you don't start listening to your community and your fans, the people who have been supporting you for years, for literally, I have been supporting you almost my entire life. I have put over 4,000 hours into Pokemon breeding. I have played your games. I have every single Pokemon game. Please listen to us. We're not saying this because we hate your game. We're saying this because we want your game to be great. And to be honest with you, you guys would have never received this PR if you guys had just left the national decks. I promise you, I'm willing to bet money on it that nobody would be upset about the Pokemon being, about the TMs being removed from the game, about, you know, the graphics, about the content of the game, if you had just left all of the Pokemon inside of the game. I truly believe that with all of my heart. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys liked it, please leave a like and subscribe in the comment below. Also, I want to hear what you guys think. Are you guys for the national decks? Are you guys a little bit disappointed about everything that's going on with Gamefreak? I really want to hear your guys' opinion. But thank you and have a great night, guys.